Contractors Showdown is hard, but if you just follow a few tips, you'll skip past Vanguard and go straight to Champion time and time again. I suck and I get Vanguard and Champion. You can do it too. Tip number 9 is a big upgrade for newbies, but let's kick this off with tip number 1. The bandages. This is actually 2 tips in one. One tip is that they're stackable. You can put on multiple bandages for more fight against the zone. The second tip is that you can grab one bandage in each hand and wrap both wrists at the same time. This can be a lifesaver if you're fighting the zone after just spending all your money buying back a buddy or getting insurance. If there's a tip I missed or something I've gotten wrong, feel free to put it in the comments. Tip number 2 is becoming more well known. It's the wrist flick on the zip lines. You can launch yourself farther off the zip lines if you flick your wrist toward the end. And please, for the love of everything, don't practice this in-game. You have zip lines all over your base when you turn on the game. Don't get stuck on the bottom of a mountain during the middle of a session, doing something you don't know how to do. Just practice at the base and zip to your heart's content. Which brings me to tip number 3. Practice everything at the base while you're waiting for matchmaking. Put on your favorite sight, practice with no sights, use guns you're not good with. There's no reason to wait until you're in-game to get good with something. Tip number 4 is often not known, and it may be because it's kind of rare that this actually comes in handy. You can run with a smoke grenade. If you're in a last-ditch effort situation in an open field, you can actually pick up a smoke grenade and run with it. It obviously gives you away, but if you're out in the open, the smoke will at least make it so that the enemy isn't sure exactly where to shoot. Number 5. I should have said this one in the beginning. Don't be afraid of the first couple of rounds of the zone. You know all those idiots that jump out of the plane immediately? They're one of 2 things. Idiots or experts. The experts land first and the idiots die. You're likely neither, so the best thing you can do is land outside of the zone and give yourself plenty of time to find guns, money, and other accessories. The only downside to this is that you can't open cash or gun boxes outside the zone. Bringing me to tip number 6. If you want a leg up, hit up those boxes. They can have all kinds of stuff to give you an edge, or they can have enough money to get something you need really quick, which is tip number 7. Insurance should be your third priority. Guns first, money second, then insurance. Hopefully finding heals and accessories along the way. Insurance is a necessity in this game, but it does expire in the last rounds, so make sure you get it in the first round and never linger at the buy stations. People camp those things and love to get you right when you think you're safe. Tip number 8. If you can't find money, find a bot. They often drop good money and self-revives. Just make sure you know where all the bots are. They usually travel in 3s. Nothing sucks more than getting killed by 2 bots that you didn't know where they were. Tip number 9, and beginners, pay attention because this is a big one. Use the virtual stock. There's a setting in your menu that allows you to change your stock to a virtual stock. This makes your offhand steady the gun better. It really helps with sniping, but you'll notice an easier time lining up your sights quickly with any gun. It can be tricky to find. Just open your menu with your thumb on your left controller, then select the settings, then select control. After that, virtual stock is at the bottom of the menu, likely cut off. Enable it and start practicing. You might actually notice your kill count go up on the first try. Tip number 10 won't surprise anyone with experience in battle royales. When you get to the last rounds, position yourself on the high ground with the zone as close to your back as possible. This keeps people from sneaking up on you and gives you the upper hand. But be careful that you don't let the zone close in on you because in the last rounds, it's really powerful. Tip number 11, don't forget about your airstrike. I always tell my teammates when I find one. I have a terrible memory, so it helps to make sure that someone else knows we have it. Speaking of which, you can check your mica periodically to see if you have anything that can help you in a tight spot, whether that's an airstrike, cover, or money if you're near a kiosk. This gives me the perfect time to mention number 12. Buy stuff. If you can't find a reflex sight, buy it. Need an armor extension? Buy it. Have a sniper with no scope? Get an 8-dot. Too many beginners think they're gonna find everything they need. If it's been a while, buy what you need, or better yet, if you have extra cash, get what a teammate needs. And always try to have about $2,500 on hand to buy someone back. But it's more important to survive right now. So if a reflex sight is life or death to you, buy the reflex sight. Check the description for a possible 25% discount and links to all the gear I use.